Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Brothas-in-law. We're here with another week to give you some pointers and have a discussion about policing in our communities. I'm Corey Taylor. I'm a former Virginia State Trooper with 7 years of service and also retired Navy Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy. And I'm with my homeboy, Michael Bradley, who's a 26-year police officer out in California and also a former Army soldier. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Second Amendment and body cameras. All right.
That's right. That's right.
The difference is we're not talking the political side of it. This is strictly on the police side and what you need to know if you're stopped and you have a weapon in your vehicle. All right. I'm just going to let you know, yes, I'm pro Second Amendment. I have weapons. I always have been since I was a kid. Had a thing for weapons. Mike, I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but I think one of our discussions before, I think you said you're okay with the Second Amendment.
I am. I don't mind someone carrying a firearm as long as they do it legally and responsibly, and as long as they, understand the laws in the state that they're in, understand the laws of that particular state about carrying firearms. There's a lot we could talk about with it. For me, firearms, just like you, firearms, I like firearms. That's all. I like guns. I don't have a gun to protect myself. That's not a sole purpose for me having a firearm. I look at firearms as a hobby. I like firearms. That's all. There's nothing deeper than that for me. Now, I do also, I've been pretty much since I was an adult, all my adulthood life, I've been around firearms. I've either owned firearms personally or firearms was a part of the career that I chose, what I'm saying, whether it was the military or police. So I've always been around firearms my whole adulthood life, pretty much.
Yeah.
People, you get a lot of arguments about taking guns away from the public and stuff like that. And I do believe we do have enough laws on the books for firearms for law-abiding citizens. I don't think that we should be taking firearms away from law-abiding citizens, but there's some, things out there that I think law-abiding citizens should be more aware of when they choose to carry that firearm. That's all.
What and absolutely, and for me, when it comes to policing, when I stopped a citizen for whatever the case may be, when I ran their license plate, Virginia, when I run your registration, it's going to come back whether or not if you have a carry conceal permit. So it's tied to your DMV record here in Virginia. So when I walk up to the vehicle, I already know. Now, the problem is I just need to make sure who the vehicle is registered to, that's the person in their driver's seat. And if it's not, then, no problem. Once I determine that the owner of the vehicle is the registered owner of the vehicle, normally, believe it or not, here in Virginia, they're going to go ahead and tell me right off the jump, hey, trooper, just to let you know, because when I come up to them, both their hands are on the steering wheel. And that's kind of another international sign that, hey, they have a weapon on them or something like that, or they'll put both their hands outside the window, like we discussed before in a couple videos ago. They'll stick both their hands out or turn the ignition off and set the keys up on the dash. And that was kind of like the international sign that, hey, they had a weapon. But the majority of people, the law-abiding citizens, are going to tell you, hey, troop, or hey, officer, I have a weapon on me. It's right here on my left hip. It's right here. Hey, all right, hey, thank you very much. Let you know. Now, as an officer, you can do a couple things. You can get them out the vehicle and take the weapon off them and make sure it's safe, and separate the ammo and the gun while you're on the traffic stop. And then once they're free to go, they can put the magazine back in or whatever. You know, Virginia's an open carry state, so you don't have to have it concealed. So there are times I walk up to a vehicle and the gun is sitting in the passenger seat. Hey, no biggie. Hey, I'll get you out the vehicle. I'll go take that weapon. I'll make sure you can get it too. But then they will say, well, you have a gun. I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to do anything stupid and I'm not scared right now, even though, you know, I do have a little height of awareness going on. But we're just going to make the whole thing safe. And that's the number one job of the police officer, is to make sure the scene is safe. You know, but there have been times, and I you know, probably okay to say now, that sometimes I didn't do it. I did. Hey, just leave both hands on the steering wheel, or leave your hands out the window so I can see it. If I see one sudden hand come back in that window, we're going to have a problem. But law-abiding citizens aren't going to, most law-abiding citizens, I should say, that really care about their Second Amendments aren't going to mess that up, because they know what it took for them to get it, to be able to carry that weapon, and the money they had to spend to be able to carry that weapon and have that concealed permit. They're not going to mess that up. What I worry about when it comes to guns and the same guys that aren't supposed to have it, those are your ones on the stops that get very fidgety when you go up there. Hey, do you guys have any weapons in here? No, we ain't got, but well, why are you so nervous? Why do you keep reaching down? Okay. Now you're raising all kind of red flags on. Now I'm gonna ask you to get out of the vehicle, like we talked about last week. Things like that. So for me, you know, I'm all right with it on a traffic stop, as long as you're supposed to have it. Now you have an open carry, right, and a carry concealed. So you just got to make sure. Go ahead.
Out here in California, you know, we're not used to seeing people openly carry firearms like that. It's not something that's common in the state of California. I understand that it's like that in some other states, but not California. Right. But again, like you were saying, I don't have a problem if someone who's authorized to carry a firearm, you know, via a concealed carry permit, a sworn officer on or off duty, you know, along those lines. Those are obviously the more common people that are going to have firearms. And as patrol officers, well, when you're dealing with the public, we're going to assume everybody got a firearm until they don't, until we prove that they don't, right? In some sense. So I mean, that's just how we're going to go about our jobs of doing our jobs, especially on traffic stops. We're not just going to assume that someone does not have a firearm. We're going to assume that you do. Therefore, we can stay safe,
right,
and be safe and act accordingly. Firearm, and say you're not a law-abiding citizen, and you have a firearm and you're trying to harm us. We're going to be safe and tactical with it, to where that's what we expect anyway. So if it doesn't happen, great. My thing is, for those people, for those citizens who just want to carry a firearm or want to own a firearm, is I just want them to make sure that they are understanding of, if they ever had to pull that trigger, or if they ever got themselves in a situation where they felt that it was necessary to use their firearm, they should have a clear understanding of what to expect after that, aftermath, right? You get into a shooting, that's probably going to be one of the most stressful times in your life. Now, during my 26 years of being a police officer, fortunately, I've never been involved in an actual officer-involved shooting. Never had to actually pull my trigger and shoot someone. God bless. I'm very fortunate. Matter of fact, 90% of police officers who go through a full career never have to shoot anybody. You see what I'm saying? But there have been times when I've come close. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely been plenty of times when we've had to pull our weapons out on people and point them at people. Plenty of times that had happened. Fortunately, it never went any further than that. But if the community, I think, you want to carry a firearm, that's great, but understand what could happen after you pull that trigger. As I said before, it's going to be one of the most stressful times of your life. You're going to have to prove in court that you were justified in shooting. You're going to have to hope that majority of the people in that court is going to agree with you. That can sometimes these days, that could be a 50-50 chance.
Right.
You might have half of them that agree with you and half of them that don't. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You're going to have to be able to clearly justify, you know what I'm saying, why you felt you need to pull that trigger. You see what I'm saying? It's almost along the same lines as a police officer having to justify it. But I think even more so as a citizen, just as long as you know what to expect on that if you ever had to use that firearm.
Yeah, and here in Virginia, you have to take that class to be able to get a carry concealed permit. So in that class, they go over the rights and responsibilities of a gun holder, and they talk about the things that you can and cannot do. You have to be in danger of your life or trying to protect a life, but everything is going to be dependent on you being able to articulate your reasoning for pulling that weapon and shooting. So, if it's, that's the sole purpose of it, to be able to protect yourself, to protect life and your personal property. So, like I said, so I'm okay with the Second Amendment and being able to carry. I think you should. I stopped a young lady one time, and she was Black, and she was open carrying. She didn't have a carry concealed, but she was open carrying, and she had it on her hip, and I could see the weapon clearly when I walked up to her vehicle. And one thing I made mention to her, even though, and we like for you to get with if it's something you're thinking about or you just want to educate yourself on, get with your local PD departments and go to their website. A lot of them have on there the procedures and steps you need to take to get a carry concealed weapon. If it's not your local PD, check out your state police agency. They have it on there on what you need to do. But I stopped there and was educating her on, hey, even though Virginia is a right to open carry state, it won't hurt for you to go ahead and get your carry concealed. Reason being is because if you can open carry here in Virginia, but when you're out and about and you have, say, a hoodie on, and you start off with having that hoodie shoved in between your weapon and your waistband,
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you do some moving around and it comes up, and now your hoodie is covering your pistol. Well, now you're concealed, right? So you got to be very cautious of the garments that you're wearing, even if it's covered just a little bit. It's enough to say that it was concealed, and now and it's just it's a misdemeanor charge, but it's still, now you went from not having anything going wrong. You didn't mean for that to happen. You just turned a certain way and you just forgot. Now you had the hoodie on. Now your weapon is concealed. So you just have to be mindful of that. So I was telling her about that and just letting her know, hey, you might want to go ahead and just take the extra time to go ahead and get the carry concealed, just to kind of help, protect you in any type of situation.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things. So,
and for me, I think I agree with you. I think the way to go is, I don't quite understand why someone wouldn't get if you're going to get any permit at all, you should definitely go for the concealed carry. My thinking on that is, concealed is always better because,
Yeah.
you know, I consider myself a courteous person. Some people might actually feel uncomfortable or intimidated by you if you walk into certain places with a sidearm on you. Right or wrong, whether you think that's garbage, whether you think they should be offended or not, really is beside the point. Wherever I go, I don't want to make someone uncomfortable because I chose to carry a gun. Right. So for me, I would prefer to carry it concealed, because if you carry it concealed the proper way, people would never know you had a gun, period. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So I don't understand why some people wouldn't want to go that route. You know, with the concealed carry, that seems like the best one.
And that's fine. I mean, when I go out, sometimes I carry concealed, sometimes I open carry. Now, here's my logic of thinking of open carry, right? I want that to be a deterrent, right? Like we say in the military, show of force, right? So if a criminal is going to come up and want to rob you, well, he sees you with the weapon. He doesn't see this other person with one. So which one is he more likely to go to? The one he doesn't know that's carrying, right? Versus seeing me with one, he's not going to come and try and challenge me. So I see it more as a deterrent.
I see what you're saying.
I see it more as a deterrent, but I get your point. And depending on where you are, some people may be a little, on edge about it, scared of the weapon or whatnot, and that's fine. To each his own. But here, I mean, so many people carry weapons here. It's, it doesn't bother most.
It's common.
People. It's common, right? In California,
now see,
I would probably
okay, California would be a little different,
obviously. Right.
But I mean, you could. But here's, I got to play devil's advocate.
No, go ahead.
Another way you could look at the open carry is, on one side, like you just explained, I can definitely see that it's a deterrent because it's a show of force. People you would think would be less likely to target you.
Right.
However, the flip side of that is it could also be a target. You might be the first one that they go for because they're thinking of it as taking out the threat first, and then they ain't got to worry about everybody else. Well, they think they ain't got to worry about everybody else unless somebody is concealed carry, but they're going to take out the obvious threat first, which is the one carrying the gun, right?
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but and I both know how criminals think. That's not their logic of thinking. In that aspect. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to take the path of least resistance.
Yeah. They're going to take the path of least resistance. So like I say, for me, I just see it as a show of force, or as a deterrent, not a show of force. They're like, hey, if you quicker than me getting on the draw, then hey, you want to try and challenge me, then go ahead. But I'd rather for them to try to challenge me than hurt all these other people that are defenseless. At least I can fight back.
I see what you're saying. I see the point.
So, but that I mean, back on course here. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, then that's what I would recommend, to get the carry concealed, just to protect yourself. And I asked her, I was like, you don't mind me asking why you're carrying? And she said, I live in Portsmouth. She worked at some cell phone shop, and she's like, those people there are crazy. They always getting robbed, so I got to protect myself. I said, good for you. That good for you. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, she lives and the city she lived in, oh yeah, you better not go through that city without a weapon. That place is like the Wild Wild West. But She was very respectful.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
No, I was to say when I came up to the vehicle, she let me know she had the weapon. So again, when it comes to policing, I'm more worried about the people that aren't supposed to have it. The one who we go up to the window and they're the ones that are acting very suspicious and acting very fidgety and don't want to answer questions. Those are the ones I'm worried about. Those are the ones, that aren't supposed to have a weapon.
I agree. I think you're right, because we should be more worried about the criminals with guns than we should ever be worried about law-abiding citizens with guns.
Correct.
So I think sometimes the media and stuff like that, I agree. I think sometimes the media turn the tables on that, and they seem to focus more on the
citizen,
people who are the law-abiding citizens who have the guns, and they actually make it more difficult for them. But criminals don't care about the laws, so they're gonna have guns no matter what. You see what I'm saying? The only thing more laws, in my opinion, it's our opinion. I understand it's our opinion, but the more laws they put on the books, you really are only governing law-abiding citizens. Now, that being said, I will say this: we should have there are laws on the books, but we should be harder on the criminals who commit crimes with firearms, than worrying about how to keep firearms out of the hands of law-abiding citizens. That's all. That's what I say. And law-abiding citizens, if you have a firearm and you ain't gone to the range in 2 years, 3 years, well, you probably shouldn't be carrying that firearm. Know your firearm, shoot your firearm routinely. You should always be up on that, and if you choose to carry it, especially,
you should remain
I said earlier,
proficient.
Right. And I said earlier, I like firearms. I just like firearms. That's true. But I also understand firearms are a means of protection. And I will protect myself with a firearm if I felt I need to. But as police officers, we have a very clear and good understanding of what you will go through after you pull that trigger. It don't just stop there.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I've never, like I said before, I've never been in a shooting myself, but we have had officers in our department that have been in shootings, and you know the process of what you will go through after pulling that trigger.
Right.
And then we can get into reasons why what is self-defense, or something like that. We might have to do another show for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Somebody in the back. Can police officers shoot somebody in the back? Yeah, police officers can shoot somebody in the back under certain circumstances.
Certain circumstances.
Can a citizen shoot someone in the back? Might be a little different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You're gonna have to explain that.
Yeah.
But that might be another show.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so again, if you like the content of this video, go ahead and hit that like and share button. And if you are new to us and you like this content as well, go ahead and subscribe to us. All right. We're looking to get over 1,000 views by the end of this year. So help us out, share, spread the message, share the love. So next topic we're talking about is real quick is body cameras. Now
we got time. We got time to talk about.
We got time.
Okay. All right.
Now, state police here in Virginia, within the last year and a half or so, started a pilot program of getting them. So I'm pretty sure they're starting to outfit everyone with a body camera here. When I was on it, we did not have body cameras. I just had a camera in my car. My personal experience with body cameras is very, very limited. But I do know they can make a difference in the outcome of a officer involved shooting or just any type of situation and within a traffic stop that may be in question that could be racist or could not be racist. And then a lot comes out when that video comes out. And with videos, a lot of things happen. A lot of people get in an uproar when there's also involved shootings, particularly if it's a white police officer shooting a black male. And we go out and we protest, and when we do things that we really shouldn't be doing, like burning up our own towns and cities. And then the video comes out, and then the video tells a different story. So the body camera can help out a lot. What happened with an officer involved shooting. Mike, what's been your experience with body cameras? I know you guys carry them or wore them on your person, I should say.
Yeah, we've had body cameras probably within the last maybe 10 years or so. They've changed the models and stuff, but we've always had body cameras. I got to be honest, it might have been a little bit less than 10 years. I'm trying to, but for a good portion, at minimum for the last 5-6 years, we've had body cameras at minimum. But body cameras, after having them, I can't see doing a job of a police officer without a body camera. It covers my ass, and it documents basically what you did and what you saw for the most of the time. The thing about body cameras is you got to get used to using a body camera. If you are an agency that you haven't had body cameras for very long, and you haven't developed the habit of turning that body camera on and off, you gotta, that's something that you gotta practice. People don't understand. They think that, oh, the officer had a body camera, but he didn't turn it on. So they automatically, their perception is, well, they must be lying about something, or he must have did something wrong because he conveniently forgot to turn his body camera on. That's not such an uncommon thing. That's a very common thing. For instance, my practice with the body cameras, we had a camera right here on the front of our uniform. So if we go into code 3 runs or something like that in the car, per department policy, we're required to turn our body cameras on to document that. Any and every contact with the community, we're supposed to be activating our body camera. So for me, I developed the habit of turning that body camera on. As soon as I get out of the patrol car, when I open that door, I'm tapping my button to turn that camera on. And that's something that you got to do to develop that habit, that physical habit of turning it on. You know, I was pretty good about remembering to turn it on once I developed that habit. But there have been a couple of times when I might have, I'm in the car, I'm rolling to a hot call, and I'm listening to what's going on the radio. I'm trying to retain details that I hear that might be relevant to me upon my arrival to the scene. I'm jumping out of the car, ready to handle this hot call. There might have been a time or two when I might have forgot to push that button on my body camera, or I might not remember it until I'm halfway into the call. It's like, oh, let me turn on my body camera, So the half of the call is over with, and I'm on the second half of the call trying to deal with it. I just remembered to turn my body camera on. That has happened. It is something possible that can happen especially if you haven't developed that muscular habit of, hitting that button on your body camera. But I'm a strong supporter of body cameras. I can't imagine any agency out there during these times and ages not to have body cameras. Body cameras are great. There have been more times than not, so often, where people have had complaints, specifically in our department, about a traffic stop or something that they felt the officer did wrong or was rude or whatever they felt. There have been plenty of times that the common practice, our field sergeants will go and say, oh, we have a complaint. Well, let's officer's body camera. That's the first thing they're going to say, and oftentimes they'll view that body camera and they'll invite the complainer to come in and view the body camera with them. We can sit down together and view it. And 9 times out of 10, whatever they were complaining about didn't show up. That wasn't the case. The body camera proved that never happened. Or
Right.
I don't understand why you were upset, but this is what I'm saying, and you're seeing it right with me. So that's something that when people file a complaint in our department anyway, that was something that they would allow the citizen to do. Is let's watch the body camera together.
Yeah. And that's
now that's probably not a standard across the board.
No, but and
Go ahead.
for our video cameras, like I said, for me, we didn't, at the time when I was with the department, we didn't have body cameras, but we had cameras in the car. So anytime you activated your lights and siren, your camera automatically cut on. So you're automatically recording the whole time. And like if you got a complaint or anything like that, they would always pull your video. And that's not a top secret thing. So I let you all know that every week when we did our weekly reports, we had to turn in our videos. And our supervisors reviewed not every stop. I think there were so many that they were required to look at from each trooper.
Yeah, same here.
Through the week to make sure you were doing what you're supposed to do. You weren't violating any policies or anything like that. So every week we turn in videos. And I know, talking to the local guys, they had to upload their videos at the end of their shifts, I believe. They had to upload their videos to their computer, to the database where they're saying, and then their supervisors will review them. So we had a situation on the weekend where an officer involved shooting took place in Virginia Beach, and the officer didn't activate his body camera till I think later on into the incident that was going on. And just like you said, I mean, I kind of gave him the little wiggle room, if you will, because if you got bullets flying everywhere and you're going basically into a hot zone, the last thing you're thinking about, unless it's muscle memory, is activating that camera. And I can see how that can happen. If I were to wear a camera now, I bet you there'd probably be plenty of times where, oh shoot, I forgot to turn that joker on. Bloop. Until it becomes muscle memory. And in the military, that's why we train till you're blue in the face, so that you can do everything, in your sleep. Close your eyes. Oh, I know where this is. I know where that is. It's muscle memory, and it takes time to get used to. But when you get into that situation, and you're in the heat of the moment, I can see where you can forget to turn it on. It's kind of hard to, depending on what the situation. And there can be situations where the officer purposely doesn't turn it on. We're not saying there isn't, but you got to kind of still wait, stay calm, and wait till the whole thing comes out, and then you can probably be able to, there's other angles. There'll be, other people will have on body cameras that might have had theirs on the whole time and can capture different angles and something like that. So, I mean, I think they're good. I think I'm pretty sure every department throughout the country has them now. And with that, you just got to wait until the video comes out. There's officers involved shooting. Wait till the video comes out. Stay calm, and let's put the pieces to the puzzle together. And then if it doesn't match up to what we're hearing or seeing, then we get out here and then we protest properly to let our voices be heard. That's that. I believe that's the right way to do it. Let's wait. Let's sit back. Let's see everything. Right. Instead of just, all right, news media puts it out, white guy kills a black guy. Let's go tear everything up. No, let's wait to see what happens. All right, let's start.
Yeah, you definitely got to wait. Yeah, that's right.
Because
I mean, the media can be so powerful. As far as creating perceptions, whether they're accurate perceptions or not. You know what I'm saying? And people got to understand that too.
Yeah.
Not that, in no way would we ever defend an officer who is sneakily trying to be sneaky and do something wrong or bad by turning off their camera. In no way are we defending that. Of course,
no, sir.
You see what I'm saying? But just be aware, and also, when you get pulled over by the cops, a lot of times people have the cell phones out, stuff like that, be careful with that, because that could be a tactical thing with you holding a cell phone while I'm trying to deal with you. If I tell you to put the cell phone down because I'm getting ready to go hands-on or something, you need to put the cell phone down. At the same time, an officer has to also don't get upset because someone is recording you. So what? As an officer, you should already expect that you own camera. You got a camera. Okay. Yeah. So if it ain't the person you're dealing with, there's somebody in that area, somebody across the street, somebody anywhere could be recording you.
That's right.
You got to understand that, come to terms with that. You can't get mad. You can't arrest people because a citizen is recording you.
Oh, no.
Now, that being said, a citizen has to be in a place that is safe and a place that is not interfering with the situation that the officer is dealing with in any way.
Correct.
If that officer tells the citizen, I would say, if I saw somebody record me, from a distance or something, I wouldn't have no problem with that. I would just say, please just remain over. You can record all you want. Just remain over there on the other side of the street. Just don't get involved or influence the situation that I'm dealing with, that I'm trying to control.
Right.
See what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah, and so the same thing with me when I would go to a stop and, the passengers in the back would be videotaping. And then when I would come up and I would look at them, they would drop their cell phones. I said, no, pick your cell phones up. You can record me.
Get up.
Pick it up. Right. You can record. I was like, just make sure you get my good side. Right.
That's right.
And then, everybody starts laughing and then they stop. They stop recording. I'm not going to do anything to you that I wouldn't want you to do to my wife or my mom or whoever that you stopped if we were in reverse roles. So I say, record. I'm not going to do anything, but you have the right to record. So there's a lot of video footage. I mean, somebody, particularly when we have a lot of crashes, I mean, people are always, now what I had a problem with when it came to people recording, especially on the interstate, and then you have to be careful that people will try to record the crash, while they're driving and try to videotape. And I would yell, hey, put your phone down, stop. Because all it takes for you to crash, and guess what you're going to get charged with? Here in Virginia, you crash and I see you crash because you were on that phone videotaping. That means you're not paying attention to the road, which means I would then charge you with reckless driving, right? And in Virginia, reckless driving is a jailable offense. So I know you want to be the first one to get it to the news station so you can say, yeah, I did that video and recorded. No, don't do that. That's not up on the interstate where people are driving still and everybody's trying to rubberneck to see, how bad the accident was and if somebody, was severely hurt or dead bodies laying everywhere. You can look, but just keep your eyes on the road. You still have to drive and maintain safety yourself. You're still responsible for that vehicle. So that is the only thing I would say as far as videotaping goes. When an incident or accident has happened, people want to drive and try to record at the same time. And, all it takes for that car in front to stop and then you're not paying attention and boom. Well, you're at fault. You're at fault. So that was a great conversation today, man. I liked it a lot. So we hope you liked it a lot. So again, go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Real quick, shout out to Tony Brown. We got you, man. We're getting your messages. I'm glad you like the show. He's one of our subscribers. And to answer his question about race within the police department, we actually gonna cover some stuff about that a little bit on another show. But I just wanted to give you a shout out to Tony Brown, Anthony Brown. We see you.
Thank you, my brother. We appreciate you, man, and keep those comments going, man. We like the conversation, and we encourage everybody to like, share, and subscribe to us. If you like it and want to add your 2 cents, hit us up with a comment down in the box below. You can find us on Instagrams at Brothas-in-law 21 and over on Facebook at Brothas-in-law. And let's start the conversation. Let us hear what you had to say, because your idea can turn into a show. All right. So with that being said,
yep, absolutely.
Hey, thank you for watching this. We'll see y'all next week, bringing it back once again for you. All right.
Peace. All right. Peace.